Exclusive FEMA official ordered relief workers to skip houses with Trump signs. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Notes Trump sign, no contact per leadership. A federal emergency management agency employee has been removed from her role after she advised her disaster relief team to avoid homes with signs supporting Donald Trump. It's not even a question of whether this happened or not. Like they're just admitting it. They're like, yeah, this happened.
I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
FEMA's in the news again today, and it's not good. This directive came out in internal communications where it was specifically noted to avoid homes advertising Trump. Trump sign equals no contact per leadership. For many, this has raised disturbing questions. In the aftermath of a natural disaster, when people are the most vulnerable, should political affiliation be a factor in determining who receives assistance? Of course not. And most would empathetically say no.
Well, to say that I was surprised would be a lie. I don't necessarily want to demean or demonize every FEMA employee or worker that's out there. I think there are a lot of them that have a good heart that want to help people. The question that it leads me to is to ask the question of what sort of culture has been established in order for, FEMA personnel on the ground, or leadership for that matter, to provide this sort of instruction to FEMA personnel that want to provide help. And more so, I had an interaction with local FEMA officials as well, and they wanted to help people. And what was the interesting thing is it was stated that, hey, we can't have our fingerprints on this, which I think it leads back to the actual question, which is, what sort of culture and what sort of fear is there in place at some of the lower levels of FEMA personnel where they're afraid they're going to lose their job if they don't speak up against actions that are blatantly not aligned?
The agency was clear in emphasizing that there was no official policy instructing workers to skip over homes based on political displays or any other form of expression. What's interesting here is that FEMA didn't try to sidestep responsibility or question the validity of the allegations. They came forward, took immediate accountability, and confirmed the reality of what had occurred. In their statement, FEMA noted that they took this issue very seriously, calling the employees' behavior reprehensible and reinforcing their stance on providing assistance impartially and equitably to all affected residents. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell also weighed in, making it clear that FEMA's mission is grounded in serving everyone affected by disasters, regardless of their political belief, religion, or background, as they should. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, in particular, has been vocal about his concerns. Governor DeSantis called for an immediate investigation into FEMA's actions during Hurricane Milton relief efforts, specifically asking state officials to look into whether this was an isolated incident or part of a broader pattern. The implications of such an investigation are vast. If any bias is found in federal disaster response at large, the repercussions could be significant. Former President Donald Trump also weighed in on the situation, criticizing the directive and calling for accountability. Trump has often had a contentious relationship with various government agencies, and this incident only serves to heighten those tensions. Many of his supporters see this as an example of what they describe as government bias against them, fueling their sense of distrust towards federal institutions as a whole. From a legal standpoint, this situation could have serious implications. Disaster response efforts, especially those coordinated by federal agencies like FEMA, are held to stringent standards of impartiality. Any form of discrimination in these efforts, if proven, could lead to severe consequences for those involved. Under federal law, if a FEMA worker is found guilty of deliberately discriminating against households in need, they could face prison sentences ranging from 1 year to even life. The severity of the punishment would depend on the impact of their actions, especially if it's proven that a family or individual suffered any form of injury, harm, or even death as a result to being bypassed for assistance. As of now, the FEMA employee who has issued the directive is under investigation, and it remains to be seen whether her actions will warrant criminal charges. For many people, this is an incident that has stirred deep-seated concerns about the impartiality of federal agencies. Trust in FEMA is crucial, especially during times of disaster when individuals and families rely on federal assistance to rebuild their lives. It's important to remember that FEMA's mandate is to assist those in need without consideration for who they are, where they live, or what political sign they have in their lawn. The fundamental principle of neutrality is essential for maintaining public confidence in FEMA services. Any breach of this principle, even if isolated, risks eroding that trust. But FEMA is attempting to rebuild that trust. In their response, the agency underscored underscored its commitment to impartiality, stating that they have strict policies in place to prevent discrimination of any kind. FEMA also mentioned that they would be reviewing these policies and ensure that nothing like this happens again in the future, as they should be. They want the public to understand that they are aware of the seriousness of the situation and are prepared to take the necessary steps to reinforce their commitment to equal service. In many ways, the public outrage over this incident is understandable. In the midst of a disaster, the expectation is that everyone will be treated equally and that the aid will be distributed based on solely on need. The notion that some families might be overlooked due to their political beliefs is disturbing to many, as it contradicts the very mission of agencies like FEMA. This incident highlights the need for strong oversight, transparency, and accountability in disaster response. Only through these practices can FEMA ensure that its actions truly serve the public impartially. So, to summarize, the recent incident involving FEMA's directive to avoid homes with Trump signs is a serious breach of the agency's mandate to provide impartial assistance. FEMA's prompt response and removal of the employee involved indicate that they are taking this issue seriously. However, this situation underscores a crucial point. In times of crisis, federal agencies must uphold the highest standards of fairness and impartiality. It is not just a matter of policy, it's a matter of public trust. And that trust is the backbone of effective disaster response. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Stay alert, stay informed, and as always, question everything. Catch you on the next one.